Hi everyone, it's Leslie from the Cottage, and we have a special guest today. It's my mother. And we thought what would be a very fun episode would be to talk about a Christmas tradition that we have in my family. This is a traditional Chinese recipe called Peking duck. And there's many different ways of preparing it, but I thought what would be a great, nice new sort of thing to look into would be to bring my mom in and have her explain how we do our version of Peking duck for the Christmas holiday. So may I introduce to you my mother, Miss Grace.
Hi everybody. Happy to be here.
Okay, so what would be the first thing that we do once we've already bought our duck? Generally, you're gonna buy a duck that's what, Mom, 4 to 5 pounds?
4 to 5 pounds.
About 4 to 5 pounds. And you're gonna buy these ducks. There are certain stores that sell them, some of them don't, but you wanna buy the whole duck.
Right.
That's very important.
Right. And of course, you have to, after you bought the duck, you have to wash and dry it, and that's what Leslie is going to share with you today.
Right, and so on these ducks, when you buy them, they're gonna come wrapped, and inside you're gonna find the giblets and some other stuff inside the cavity. Make sure you pull that out. And we just wash this duck in just really nice cold water, and then we're just gonna pat this dry, because the nice thing about Peking duck, or one of the things you strive for, is you really want to make sure that the duck dries. It does take about 2 or 3 days.
Right, exactly. That's the key. Why do you think that is?
Let me make a side note here. Actually, the most fabulous thing about this tradition is that I don't have to do the cooking. She does it. But I think that, you're looking for the crispiness of the skin once the duck has been cooked, and that drying process really helps.
What it actually does is, in the drying process, which takes 2 days uncovered in the fridge, it actually causes the skin to begin to separate from the body of the duck. So the pre-preparation and the 2 days uncovered in the fridge is really an important part.
Okay, Mom, what's next after we've washed and dried the duck?
We're going to season it with 2 tablespoons of wine.
Okay. Inside and out, right?
Inside and out.
And you're just gonna go ahead, you're gonna take the cavity of the duck, throw a little wine. If you don't want to use wine, that's not a problem. You can use some cooking sherry is fine. If you prefer red wine, I think that's probably fine. And what's next?
You're gonna season it with a little salt.
Okay.
Inside and out.
Yeah. This right here is just a kosher salt. I'm sure you can amend this as you prefer. And we're just gonna, like my mom said, we're just gonna do inside and outside. And I think sometimes, when you're cooking birds, where you're dealing with a cavity, I think sometimes it's okay to put a little extra when you're dealing with the cavity.
Yeah, and don't forget the neck portion that Leslie is showing you, because that ends up with a nice little chunk of skin that we're going to use later.
Okay, this is perfectly seasoned. Very nice. What's next?
All right, we have the wine, we have the salt, we rub the duck inside and out, and it's been 2 days uncovered in her refrigerator.
Okay, now here's the really cool part about this recipe. The duck has to be in the refrigerator uncovered for about 2 or 3 days to dry out. And there are different vessels you can use to accomplish this. This, Mom, you want to explain what these two things are? Because these are fabulous little items for our kitchen.
Well, this particular one was actually purchased in Okinawa, if you can believe it. And I have several of these. And this is another one that we often use here in the States. You can buy this in a department store, and you simply put the duck or a chicken or whatever it is, and this holds it upside down, and then of course any of the fat or whatever you don't want anymore, it goes in the dish, and then you can pour it off.
Right. So what we're going to use, I like these. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this duck, we're going to prop it up on this fabulous little stand.
Yeah, it's
now
really
these
cool.
ducks are actually really big. Even when my mom bought them, she said, wow, those are big ducks. Okay, so see how this is? This duck is just hanging out like on the corner having a cocktail at a bar. So once you've seasoned your duck with the wine or the sherry and the salt, you are going to go ahead and leave it like this, propped up on this sort of prod for 2 days in the refrigerator uncovered. And you're going to see it slowly kind of shrivel up, and it's slowly going to start to dry out. After the 2 days, you're going to pull this duck back out, and you are going to season it with some honey. Just a little bit on the outside and on the inside. And this is going to be done prior to it sitting for one more day in the refrigerator, okay? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take some fabulous local honey, and we are just gonna very lightly rub it on the outside of this beautiful duck. Don't forget to go under the arms. And yep, you wanna make sure you get the all the way around. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, and I'm gonna throw some in there. And I'm just gonna get down in there. Okay, now remember, this is gonna sit now for one more day in the refrigerator, uncovered, with that honey glaze. Okay, so your duck has been in the fridge for 3 days, and we are gonna prepare to cook this. And believe it or not, it cooks really fast. It's about 1.5 to 2 hours, around 325 degrees. You are gonna absolutely cook it right on this pan, but I would recommend putting a liner underneath it in case it does overflow, so some of the fat does collect in the pan and doesn't go in your oven.
A cookie sheet.
Yep, cookie sheet is great.